Well, it is Frank, and it is at the top of the hour. I'm going to be your host today, and this should be a relatively short presentation. I am going to open it up along the way for questions and answers because this is going to be a deep dive review. Deep dive review. We have many, many products to offer the clients and you in order for you guys to get your $100,000 worth of working capital. I want to start off by letting people know that in many, many cases, businesses fail within the first 2 years because of lack of working capital. Not lack of customers, not lack of ideas, not lack of energy, not lack of understanding or even business, lack of working capital. They just Businesses just fail within the first 2 years for that one reason. And that's the reason, oops, oops. We got to put everyone on mute all and then unmute yourself, Jeff, when you need to. There we go, mute all. All right, I hate it when there's background noise like that. All right, so it breaks my train of thought. I've forgotten where I was. People fail, businesses fail because of lack of working capital. Now, Easy Financial is going to take a gigantic shift in the way we're going to be doing business and structuring the company. And we're going to, Easy Financial and myself are going to be working with business entrepreneurs, real entrepreneurs, not hobbyists, not people that come and go and do some and do nothing. We're looking for people who are serious about making money. They have to make money. They want to make money. Those people, and I hope I'm talking about you, those people need funding. You need to have working capital. And working capital is defined as the money that is not attached to your bank account, not attached to your pocket, not flying by the seat of your pants, but having a fund that is earmarked to your business that can be used to do anything in your business and to be paid back rapidly, not like consumer credit that you can run up debt and just keep piling it on and piling it on and piling it on. No, consumer financing is not what we're talking about. We're talking about business working capital, business debt. In in business 101 is you separate your personal from your business. You have to separate your personal from your business. When your business gets intertwined with your personal, things can go wrong in a big hurry. And if they do, then people have lost their homes, they've lost their cars, they've lost lots of stuff because their particular business took a downturn. It's not anyone's fault, but if you're smart and you follow business 101, is you separate your business from your personal. And that's what we're all about today. Today, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurs. Those are people that you're going to be looking for so that you can fund their businesses and their dreams and their ideas, and entrepreneurs, you, so that I can fund your businesses, your dreams, and your ideas. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is how in the world can we guarantee people, virtually guarantee people, that they're going to get $100,000? And the way we can do it is we have so many different programs to work with. We are all members of finance agents. If not, we're going to restructure so that everyone should be a member of finance agents. And I definitely am with finance agents, and I've been with them almost since their beginning. Actually, finance agents certainly from their beginning, because prior to that, they were the business funding store, and I was with them back then. So what is the agenda? One, we're going to get 3 great things we're going to talk about. Peripheral programs and reminders that we have so many wonderful programs to work with. And funding programs and vital notes that you should know about the funding programs that we have to offer. And then on each section, we're going to have questions and scenarios. If you have a scenario that you'd like to talk about, we'll give you a few minutes to talk about a scenario. If it sounds too detailed, then we can make a call like I had mentioned to Vic. He has a fantastic scenario, and we're going to talk to him after the call. So here are some important notes. Oh, tech support right now is down. They're working on a major project in-house, and Darren is just overwhelmed. So Darren is our IT guy, in-house IT guy. So if you have any problems, please explore the issues yourself. And then if you can't handle it, then get in touch with me and take a screenshot of the problem, and I'll see if I can't solve it for you. But like I said, Darren right now is completely overwhelmed, and we can't bother Darren at this moment. I want to let you also know that the lending landscape has drastically changed. Did I say that drastically strong enough? The lending landscape has drastically changed. You need to know what I'm about to tell you. You need to know what I'm about to tell you. The COVID virus has changed the landscape and the future landscape far more than people understand. A while back, there was a foreclosure tsunami where every first Monday of every month while I was down in Myrtle Beach, we had literally hundreds of foreclosures that we would go through the first Monday of every month. And unfortunately, I don't want to be a prophet of doom, so let's make it a prophet of opportunity. I'm sorry that the people are going to lose their homes. The opportunity is for the investors to get the deal of the century. And I believe the deal of the century is going to come along 2 or 3 times a week. And if you are prepared, if you've got your working capital in place, if you get your credit report in place, then you will be prepared to take advantage of the unbelievable opportunities that will be coming down the pike. There was a legal government restriction against foreclosures. That restriction has expired. And what that means is there's going to be a lot of foreclosures. What that also means is the qualifications are not what they used to be. When we had some low 500 and 600 FICO score qualifications, those scores are going to start to find their way going up. The funding ranges that you needed are also going to be lowered. The good news, again, I don't want to be a prophet of doom. The good news is the prices are going to be down. So the funding ranges will be down. You won't be able to get as much money, but the good news is the prices are going to be down to match the lower funding ranges. And the lenders are looking to limit their liability, and they don't want to increase it. They don't want their liability higher than they can manage. So you need to get whatever capital you can get is the message to convey. In other words, let me make it crystal clear. When you're working with a client and the client says, I've got $1 million idea and I need $500,000 to get this idea done. You need to set the expectations. You need to make them understand. Listen, the lending landscape has changed. You need to allow me to get you whatever capital that I can get you for now. It may change again later on, and you may be able to get more money later on. But for right now, you can't have these multi-million dollar ideas and no money in the bank. So it all starts, number one, I've beat this drum 1,000 times. Pre-qual, pre-qual, pre-qual. Let's get everyone pre-qualified using our link. Now I'm going to be sending out our link to everyone to get them pre-qualified on the link. Jeff is making a list of all of the people that are on the call. Everyone that's on the call is going to get our link to get them pre-qualified before the need of the money. I say that again. If you're pre-qualified, you've got your $100,000 in your left hand. When the need arises, you won't be scrambling. You won't be losing your down payment. You won't be missing the deal of the century. If you get pre-qualified now, you'll have all of that money. You'll have that working capital for you to take advantage of the deal of the century. And you need to be telling your clients to be pre-qualified so they can be ready for the deal of the century as well. Because I'm here to tell you, I've been doing this for 36 plus years. Real estate is cyclical. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. I'm here to tell you, I want to ring the wake-up bell. Get ready. The deals of the century are on their way. Okay, so there are some peripheral programs that I want you to know of. Everyone on the call should be already a finance agent member working underneath Easy Financial Group. That's the way it has been for years and years and years. And if you're not, it's real simple for you to get registered, and you will have tons of tools available to you, such as credit restoration. The target for credit restoration is anyone who is a C3. Now that's a designation that you may not know about, but if you don't quite qualify, you might have to have your credit brought up a little bit. We've got a couple of different ways to do it, and that is we could offer you hard money to help you with that. Or you could use the First Merchants account. First Merchants account, I'll open it up to questions later, or at the end of each section, I'll open up to questions. But the First Merchant account is an immediate cash advance of $10,000. I didn't say credit cards. I said cash. You can get an immediate cash advance of up to $10,000. And once you start using that merchant account, that every 90 days can be reviewed, and that could go up to $100,000 easily. So that would certainly be money in your hand. Now, if you do need credit restoration, we have three choices. For the credit challenged client and for the credit challenged you. If you have a low credit score, you need to be working on that. And the one thing you need to realize is if you really want to be in this business or any business, you have to have good credit, right? I mean, I don't care what the gurus tell you, that you can buy houses with no money down, no brains, no job, just sit on your couch, drink beer, and the money will come to you. That's how they sell their programs. That's how they sell those $1,000, $10,000 programs, by telling people that. But the reality is somebody in the transaction has to have good credit. So if you're your own entrepreneur, it might as well be you having that good credit. So the first thing we have is we have a credit repair starting at as little as $79 and a small monthly payments for a short period of time of 6 months, and they will clean up your credit, get rid of all the things that are ailing you. If you want a more comprehensive program that has much more involved, and it is also interactive where you act with the people, we have a credit restoration starting at as little as $188 and $89 per month. And it gives you 12 different programs that can rebuild, restore, and restore your credit to better than it ever has been. And last but by no means least, if you're in a big hurry and you're standing to make a big amount of money or lose a big amount of money, we have a program called credit sterilization that will literally go in and wipe out every negative and every derogatory on your account. And that is starting at $2,500. Sounds like a big number, but if you're willing to make, if you're positioned to make $1 million deal, if you only had good credit, or if you only had somebody that could co-sign for you, and you can't find a co-signer, that $2,500 is a drop in a bucket if it prevents you from doing $1 million deal, or if it assists you in getting $1 million deal done, or any big deal. The $2,500 is a drop in a bucket. Is there any questions about credit restoration, credit repair, or credit sterilization? You can type it in the chat box, and Jeff can read it for me, or you can unmute yourself and shout out. You tell me who you are, where you're calling from, and shout out the question.
Diane in Denver, can you hear me?
I hear you, Diane. What is your question?
I have a question.
Well, what if you have no credit? Where do you start?
Well, you start by creating credit, and we're going to cover that here in just a little bit. We do have a way for folks who don't have any credit whatsoever to get started building credit. The middle one, the credit restoration, starts at $188 and it's $89 a month, and they have a way for you to create credit. We also have a way outside of that program for people to create credit. We'll talk about that in another call, but we do have a way for guys, girls, clients, or agents to build credit if you have no credit. We have a way to do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, go ahead and mute yourself back up again. Thank you, Diane. I heard one other person shout out. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and what's your question.
My name is Omar. Hello. Oh, my name is Omar, and I was just asking about the credit sterilization, $2,500. How long did that take?
Okay.
And I know you said it takes about 6 months.
Fantastic question. Credit sterilization is for people who want to get your credit sterilized in under 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Under 30 days, we can go in and we can remove all negatives and all derogatories. Now, I say it starts at $2,500, and it is done through the credit bureaus, but it's also done through the court system. And we can literally put a block on the people who are reporting your credit, and that block is there as a judge. A judge will put a block on your report, and that block will stay there for 7 years. If you know anything about credit, wow. 7 years is forever. You know, just at the end of 7 years.
In other words, that can take someone's like credit from like 300 up to like the 700 mark, or like what?
Not necessarily. I want you to understand. I want you to understand, and that was a good question. That's a good question. The absence of bad credit does not necessarily create good credit.
Okay.
What we need is a 1-2 punch. And this program
Right.
will do that. This program will give you trade lines that you can add to it. Now, first of all, it's a 1-2 punch. We get rid of all of the negative,
Wow, the
and
negative.
then we
Okay.
put on positive. And now the answer is yes. You can get up to 800 FICO.
Because now someone considering you for an offer, they don't see all these negatives. They just see this person who doesn't have anything. So that is just completely gone for 7 years, and they're not seen anymore. That's what you're saying.
Okay, the negative is gone, but if you want the 800 FICO, we have to put positive on. It's a
Positive,
1-2 punch. It's a 1-2 punch. Get rid of the negative, put some positive, and there you go.
And then question, like once you're in the program as a rep and you sell the sterilization to someone else, like once you're in position as a rep, like what's your commission on that?
I don't want to get into those kind of questions. I don't want to get down to the nitty gritty. It is a sizable commission. You do get a sizable commission.
Okay. All right. I mean, this just sounds really interesting because one thing, there are a lot of, you made a really good point about people always selling these programs, like no hope, like no money down and all that. But somewhere down the line, someone does need that credit. Right. I believe credit is in the basement.
Absolutely. All right, I got to get moving, or I'm not going to be able to finish this.
Sorry about that.
Mute yourself back up, and let me go ahead.
Just press the done speaking. Press that, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so those were fantastic questions, and if I had 2 hours, I could answer every question. So I'm going to just get going. And one of the ways that we're going to give you instant cash injection into your business. Now, I did say cash. I didn't say credit cards. I did say cash. And that is using the first merchant's account. If you have C3s and your revenue is too low for a revenue-based advance, then what we do is we need to collect 4 items: your driver's license, a voided business check, an EIN, and articles of incorporation. And even if you're down around 300 FICO, 400, 500 FICO, you will get approved. Now, you won't necessarily get approved for the $10,000, which could grow up to 100,000, but you will be approved. And then as you use this program, the First Merchants program, every 90 days, your credit won't be reviewed, your activity will be reviewed. And if you use this program the way it is designed to be used, you can increase your line of credit every 90 days. We just launched this program not too long ago, so it's in the beta testing right now. It's in the pre-launch right now. We're going to be fully launching it at September 1. But even in the beta testing, we've had somebody that come in and only get about $300 to $500 line of credit. And in the first 90 days, because they use the program, they're already up to $75,000. So in just 3 months, of our first 3 months of the program, these people have already increased their lines of credit to $75,000. Meaning, when we launch on September 1st, if you're already in this program, you too can raise your total from $500, $5,000, $7,000, whatever you come in at. You can raise that up to 75 to 100,000. 100,000 is the max. And what do I need? Listen closely. First item, a driver's license. Second item, a voided business check. Third item, EIN. Fourth item, articles of incorporation like an LLC or a DBA, doing business as. I don't need bank statements. I don't need 7 years of tax returns. I don't need hoops for you to jump through. I don't need your birth certificate, your divorce certificate. I don't need any of those things that people pour on me. All I need is 4 items: a driver's license, a voided business check, your EIN, and your articles of incorporation or your DBA. If you give me those 4 items, you will be approved. That's all I need. It's a very, very simple program. And if you have a good credit score behind you, you can start off as much as $10,000 from the get-go. If you don't, you'll start off with a smaller amount, but you can build it by simply using the program. This is for you, and this is for your client. If you start off with this for yourself, you can build it for yourself. But if you start off with your clients and you use it for your clients, you can very, very quickly jump up from whatever you started. If you hit the ground running with $7,500 in 90 days, you could be up to $75,000. It's cash injected directly into your bank account. If you don't use it, you don't get charged any interest for it. If you do use it, it gets paid off by just simply using it. It pays itself off. I don't want to get into the details of all these things. I could be in a half hour in just that. So we're not going to waste that time. We're going to keep going. Anyway, 4 things: driver's license, voided business check, EIN, articles of incorporation. I expect everybody to go pull their credit report, send it to me, and then I will send you a DocuSign that you can go get your driver's license, voided business check, EIN, and articles of incorporation, upload it to the fully automated system, and in 24 hours, you'll be approved. In 3 to 5 business days, you'll be funded. That is a wonderful thing for yourselves, for your own working capital, and for your clients, for their working capital. Any questions on that? I'm scared to say that. Any questions on that? They got to be real lightweight questions.
Frank, this Garrett. Can you hear me?
Yes, Derek. Yes, Derek, I can hear you.
Garrett. Yeah, this is Garrett. Real quick, in regards to getting a credit report, will we just go to Identity IQ log in there to send you a copy of the credit report, or what do you want us to do?
Yes, Derek, you're right. I do use Identity IQ, but Derek, I want to use my link so that I can open up your system. I can open it up. If there's anything that we need to tweak about your credit report, I need to be able to open it up and be able to tweak whatever it is. So anyone who's on the call, Jeff is keeping track of who's on the call, and we're going to be sending you guys my link for Identity IQ so that we can do that. But that was an excellent question. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Jeff, I saw some questions pop up in the chat box. Did you want to read them? Jeff, you got to unmute yourself.
No, there's no questions there.
Okay.
I have a question.
All right, quick.
Okay, I'll make it quick. I'm sorry, this is Omar. The EIN article of incorporation, where do you get that?
Okay, so if you don't have them already, we're going to give you our paralegal's information, and she can set you up as a business. But if you have been set up as a business, if you've got an LLC, the Secretary of State in your state can give you the information on your LLC or on your doing business as, which is also known as a DBA. That would come from the Secretary of State, and the EIN is your government employee identification number, and that comes from the federal government. And if you don't have those two things, we do have a paralegal who works with us, and I'm going to be flashing her information up at the end of the presentation.
Frank, it's Jeff.
Okay, and just real quick, also as a representative of your company, there's a platform where we would actually have the right to have an EIN because we're,
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. You are, an independent business owner. Absolutely.
Okay, because I definitely believe in what you're offering. I definitely want to be a part.
Good, fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, Frank, did you mention about the DBA registration?
Yes, I did.
Recording? I don't know if he caught that.
Yes, I did. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. The next thing that we have, I've got a ton of business, and we're already at the half hour. And I usually like to respect my time, but I always stick an hour's worth of information in a half-hour call. So I got to move quickly. The next thing that we can do to make money for our clients is merchant processing. And that we need, if you have a client who needs a merchant account, doesn't have one, we can provide merchant accounts for them. If they want a lower cost to the merchant account, in other words, they're paying too much for processing, you don't know it, many people don't know it. When you swipe your credit card at the gas station, at the grocery store, at the clothing store, at the doctor's office, at the dentist office, if you swipe your card, they're being charged for the privilege of taking your money and going through a merchant account. Well, we have merchant accounts that will actually save them money, and if they give us leads that we can use, they can actually lower their cost down to zero. A lot of people who do thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month, tens of thousands a month, love to know that they can save that money that they're spending. Most cases, it's probably around 2 or 3% of the bill. And if you're talking about big bills, high bills, $100, that's $2 or $3 times how many clients? A lot of money. You can save people a lot of money. So what we do is we mark programs for merchants account. You can go out and find tons of people who could use merchants accounts. We don't do the work itself. You just alert me by sending me a note, and then I'll introduce you to Erica Yost, who will actually do the call and the consult. You and I are off the hook. All we do is we bring the client to them, and they will take care of it. Now, this is way too complicated to get into any Q&A, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to slide on to the next one. We're going to talk about funding program vital notes. The CRE. I'm going to slow down. I don't want to speed up to make it in a half hour. We're not even halfway through it. But I'm going to slow down because I really want you to understand. We have everything you need to solve your client's problems. We have everything you need to solve your client's financial problems. Literally, when you start working with your client, you need to tell your client, stop shopping around, don't shop around. We can solve every single situation. If you shop around, you will shoot yourself in the foot. Good thing I didn't put that video in here, because I do have a video of somebody literally shooting themselves, and we don't want to do that. Anyway, CRE, real important. CRE stands for commercial real estate. All we need to know is it is still up and running. A lot of people are not aware that we have 100% CLTV. So it's 100% financing, and it's 100% CLTV. That's combined loan to value. And we also do up to 60% LTV. That's 60% of the loan to value when they're buying some piece of property, commercial property, down to $100,000. we can fund up to 60% of the loan to value of that property. And if you have owner financing, or the owner wants to take back a second to help you make the deal because it's a distressed property, what did I tell you a few minutes ago? There's going to be a boatload of distressed properties on the market very shortly. You need to be prepared. You need to be pre-approved. Okay, I'm not going to stress it. I might stress it a million times more. All right, so you need to have all you need for this program for the commercial real estate is an application and pictures, pictures, pictures. We don't even care what the person's credit looks like. Can you believe that? We don't even care what the person's credit looks like. You need an application and pictures, pictures, pictures. All you have to do is upload the items, alert me to get a review, and we will actually do the review for you. Once you've given us what we've asked for, you're off the hook. We'll go ahead and do the rest of the work, and we'll get you funded and we'll close that deal. That's commercial real estate from 100,000 up to 15 million. If it goes over 15 million, we might need a little bit more time, but we can usually close these in under 2 weeks. The Fix and Flip program, which is our second longest running program and the most profitable, the Fix and Flip program is still alive and it's up and running. And the Fix and Flip program can be 125% buy, fix, and flip. What that means is if you buy a $100,000 property, you could get $125,000 to buy that $100,000 property. That's as deep as I want to go into that. You can go on YouTube and you can look for Frank Aleo, that's FRANKALEO on YouTube. Go to YouTube and then search for FRANKALEO. You can read all about the 125% buy, fix, and flip. We have done many trainings on that program. It is a fantastic program. That's still up and running. All you need is an application, which we can get you. Now, the credit score used to be 600 FICO for the fix and flip part of it, 680 FICO for the 125% part of it. They've increased it to 625 and still 680. So you can go take a look at that. I know I'm making it confusing, but again, go online, go to youtube.com. Once you get there, search for Frank Aleo, and there are many, many videos on the 100% CLTV and on the 125% program. Your client does need to have experience. They need to have done at least one buy, fix, and flip before in order for them to qualify for the best rates. But if they have no experience, they can still do it. They're just not going to get the very best rates. All you need to do again is request the application, fill it out, upload the information to us, alert me to get a review, and we'll do it. Again, everything starts with the pre-qualification, and I will be sending out the link to everyone who wants it. I'm going to be sending out the link so that you can get every one of your clients pre-qualified before the deal of the century hits them in the face. And the deal of the century is going to hit them in the face. Any real quick questions before I go on? Good. BDRA is,
Frank, there's a question in the chat.
Okay, read it
before
quick.
you move on. It's a little bit of a long question from Regina Butler Streets. For those that are sole proprietor, is a business account required or recommended? Some individuals' funds are being sent back to the other financial institutions. What are your thoughts or recommendations? Should they apply again through other sources?
If they are a sole proprietor, we can do them. We can get them funded if they're a sole proprietor. Many companies cannot. We specialize in startups, less than 2 years in the business, and we specialize in sole proprietors. So the answer is absolutely yes. I would immediately sign up for the merchant account that we talked about. I would immediately sign up for that. If you have relatively decent credit, you could start off with up to $10,000 worth of working capital. And if you need help, we can help you, we can make you bankable and get you up to $100,000. Absolutely, yes. All right, moving along briskly, he said, BDRA stands for Business Directed Retirement Account. You just need to email me a copy of your retirement statement, and then I'll start working on it. What most people who used to work for another company don't know is they think they can't use if they're working with a current employer. It's true. If you're working right now currently for IBM and you've got $50,000 or more in your business and your retirement account, you can't use that. However, if you've already retired or you plan to retire on September 1, you can use your retirement account. But wait a minute, Frank, wait a minute. If I use my retirement account, I'm going to get severe penalties, interest, and taxes from the IRS. Absolutely right, if you do it wrong. But if you let us do it, you will avoid penalties, interest, and taxes. If you have 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 in a retirement account and you allow us to get the money for you, we do it in such a way that you avoid penalties, interest, and taxes. You get to borrow your own money to start your own business and loan yourself the money out of your retirement account and avoid penalties, interest, and taxes. That's what everyone is afraid of when you ask them about their retirement account. They say, no, 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 I can't touch that money. Yes, 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 you can if it's done correctly. We do it correctly. So what you could do is you could use your own money to open up your own business. You could be your own bank. Are you going to turn yourself down? I doubt it. So you can use your spouse's retirement assets. The same. Is she going to turn you down, or is he going to turn you down? I doubt it. So if you use our system and you contact us, you can close in 3 to 4 weeks. That's how long the process takes, and you will not incur any penalties, interest, or taxes from the IRS. Use me to present this to your clients. This is definitely a complicated product that we have. It definitely needs somebody that has had 36 years experience. This is definitely not for the light or the faint-hearted. This is something that really needs to be explained because you're talking to people about their life savings and they don't want to have any kind of penalties, interest, or taxes or any kinds of problems, but they will be using their own money to fund their own business. They will be their own bank, and they will not be subjected to any penalties, interest, or taxes. You need to contact Jeanne to set an appointment with me, and I will present it to your client because I have years and years and years of experience. I kind of doubt you do, maybe not in this venue. And even if you've been a mortgage broker for a long period of time, you probably don't know about how we do this. You set an appointment with Jeanne, and I will do the presentation for you. I'm way over my half hour, so I'm going to continue. Equipment financing. If somebody is starting a new business, any kind of a business, they will use the universal funding form. Again, we're trying to get people over $100,000 in the shortest period of time. We have a lot of tools available to us in the universal funding form, with a credit as low as $550 for existing businesses or $600 for startup businesses, brand new businesses starting up. We can get them the equipment that they need, as in a restaurant starting up, or as an ice cream store, or as in a factory. All we need is the invoices with the vendor's information, so we can verify what it is that they want to buy and who's using the equipment and where the equipment is going to be. That's all we need, and we can do the transaction for you. And again, we're trying to get the working capital. Remember, the reason businesses fail within the first 2 years is because they don't have the working capital. They may have $1 and a dream, and their dream goes down the drain because they didn't have the working capital. We're giving them the working capital. Revenue-based, and I flew right past that, didn't even let you ask a question. Revenue-based advances, we have the ability to go into existing businesses, and going into the second part of 2020, this is going to be more prevalent on the back half of 2020. The reason revenue-based accounts means we're going to give them up to 100% of what they do on a monthly basis. So if they do $100,000 a month or $200,000 a month, we're going to be able to give them a cash advance of whatever they can prove that they've done. You get 12 months worth of bank statements showing what they've done. We average the 12 months. We'll give them up to 100% of what they've done month by month over the 12 months. And this is a long-term game plan so that we can get people past this COVID-19 shutdown and get them back standing on their feet again and doing business. Don't submit this for review unless you have set the right expectations. We don't want to tell them that we're going to give them 100% of the highest month. We're going to take 12 months. We're going to divide the 12 months. We're going to get the average. Once we get the average, we can give them up to 100% of the average month. No questions asked. Business term loans, BTL, business term loans. We do SBA loans. Everyone knows what Small Business Administration is. We do lines of credit, LOC. We do business term loans, traditional funding division. Existing businesses, we help. Acquisition businesses, people are trying to buy a business. I had one client was bugging the heck out of me to buy a 50-year-old business that was going out of business, and I didn't do the right thing. I want you guys to do the right thing. If you find somebody who wants to buy an existing business, make sure we put them in the BTL, business term loan. And anyone who wants to buy a franchise startup, let me tell you a clue. If you go in the internet and you look and you do a search for franchises for sale, you can find companies that are selling their franchises to people who right now desperately need a job, and they're buying their job. They're buying FedEx routes. They're buying bread routes. They're buying traditional type franchises. They need the money to buy that franchise. Guess what, guys? You can give them up to $100,000 or more to buy that franchise. Real important. The opportunity is enormous, enormous. The amount of people that need to buy a business. You need a good personal credit, you need good collateral, and you need industry experience and time in the business. If you have those things, then the chances are very strong that you can get a business term loan of up to $100,000 or more. We have a lot of or mores. Again, it's way past the time that I should have quit, so I'm going to keep going as long as you're listening. Personal term loans, we have cash, no restrictions, fast and higher amounts. This is for a personal term loan. You must be a W-2 employee. You must have 50,000 or more, and we need to have the last 30 days of pay stubs. Whoever is making all that background noise, I wish you'd just remute yourself. 1099, if you are not a W-2 employee, if you're a 1099, you're going to have better credit than a W-2 employee would have had. You're going to have higher income, and your average gross revenue over the last 2 years has to be higher as well. The same employer and residence for at least 1 year. If you're a 1099, means you're an independent, you need to have that same employer or the same company for 2 years and live in the same residence for 2 years. All you have to do is submit your income information and all the UBF submissions, which is what's coming up next, and we can get you approved for up to whatever your yearly income is. If your yearly income is 50K, we can put 50K in your bank account in 5 days. If your income, you can prove your income is 100K, we can put 100K in your bank account in 5 days. No questions asked. UPF is unsecured personal funding. This is usually due to lack of credit depth. You can get $10,000 to $50,000, and this is in the form of personal credit cards. It is what we do is we give you a promotional rate of 0% APR for up to 21 months. So if you want to start a business and you don't have any way of starting the business, you could start the business with unsecured personal funding with a 0% APR for up to 21 months. UBF is unsecured business funding, and that's maxing out at 50 to 60,000. Now it used to be my average used to be 75,000, so it's dropped down now to 60,000. You can combine these programs. The programs that I've been telling you about can be combined. If you combine these programs, you can get well over $100,000 for yourself and for your clients. Remember, if you start working with your client, make sure your client understands. Do not shop around. You will shoot yourself in the foot, even if you get an approval from us, which is very, very possible. If you continue shopping around, the approval could be turned into a decline. Let me repeat that. If your client or you shops around for credit, lets people pull your credit, if you do that, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You could take an approval and turn it into a decline. You can take victory out of the jaws of defeat, or you can take defeat out of the jaws of victory. Don't do it. Okay. The consulting cost of structure, I don't want to get into that, gets all the capital that you require. You do need a little bit of experience. We do have lending. We have the experience, and we have the lending relationships. If your client thinks he could do it himself, again, he's going to have 100 inquiries, and an inquiry is the same as a decline. He's going to have many inquiries, and he will have shot himself in the foot. We want you to be confident when you present these programs. These are all in the back office. Over the next coming weeks, Somebody came by and drank all my water. In the next coming weeks, we're going to be doing a presentation on each and every one of these programs. So you will be trained on each and every one of these programs. Okay, I'm going to move back. We also have angel investors. If your credit is maxed out and it needs to be paid down, we can pay down the high balances to under 30% of available credit. What this will do for you is if you would have been declined by bringing your balances under 30%, you will be approved. We have hard money. If you need hard money, we may be able to help you in your particular area. We have second chance finance. What second chance finance is if you absolutely don't qualify for anything, we can put you through second chance finance and you qualify for something. What? I can't tell you, but you will get something. You will get a credit card and you will get a line of credit and you will get something. So if you need money to get started, if you need money to become a pro agent, if you need money to just get your business off the ground, we can help with second chance finance, even if you have a low credit score. Now is time for Q&A, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot up the paralegal. As I mentioned, if you want to have Q&A, I will give you as much time as you want at this point. This is the end of the presentation. I'm going to show one more slide, and then I'm going to put that slide back up again. If you have a client that you need help with, you can introduce Mr. Alio, that's me, to your client. Now, I don't care what you call me normally, but when you're speaking to a client about me, you want to say, I may not know the answer to your question, Mr. Client, but Mr. Alio has had 36 years of experience. If anyone can answer your question, it's certainly going to be him. Would you like me to set an appointment for the three of us to talk? That is all you have to do. You introduce me to the client. You give me an overview of what you think the client's needs are, what the client thinks the client's needs are, and we go from there. At that point, you will get your full commission, but I will close the deal for you. But you will get your full commission. Jeanne Golrick, Golrick, Golrick. Jeanne Golrick, her phone number is 413-659-6974, and her email is writesforus@gmail.com, writesforus@gmail.com. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to let you copy that down if you want. This is how you would make an appointment for a three-way call between me, you, and your client that you need help with. The paralegal, if you need to set yourself up as a LLC or as a DBA, if you need to set up an EIN, if you need to structure your business so that you pay the least amount of taxes and so that you can get the maximum amount of money, you probably want to get a hold of our paralegal who knows how to do all of what I just said. And her name is Eloise Romo. Her phone number is 737-414-0141. And it's Eloise Romo, all one word, @gmail.com. Eloise Romo @gmail.com. Now, I'm going to open it up for any questions. Jeff, do you have anything in the chat box?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Hey, Frank, it's Garrett again.
Okay.
Okay, Frank. Wow, I mean, you guys have so much actually to offer us as being part of the program. What do you, from your experience, what do you feel the first thing for us to start? Would it be best to try to start off with the line of credit first and then build from there and then work on the credit? Or can you kind of like elaborate and get your expertise on that?
Fantastic question. What I say is you yourself, you need to live a six-figure lifestyle. You yourself need to pull your own credit report, which we're going to give you the link to. It's not up here on the slide. I didn't have enough time to finish the slide. You yourself need to pull your own credit, and you yourself need to start living a six-figure lifestyle by getting the working capital for yourself. You yourself need to have $100,000 worth of working capital. You need to be an independent business owner or a independent sales organization, which is the next step up. So you need to do that. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to help other people get that same $100,000. There are right now, because of the lockdown, everywhere you look, in every city, in every town, everywhere in the United States, people need working capital. There is no excuse for you not to be able to do 2 or 3 people per day. If you do 2 or 3 people per week, I guarantee you, you're going to be in that six-figure lifestyle, just 2 or 3 a week. But there's no reason why you couldn't do 2 or 3 a day. Just offer them the $100,000 worth of working capital. It would be real simple. You talk to people who say, hey, person, do you know anyone that could use up to $100,000 worth of working capital, cash injection into your business right now? They might answer, how about me? And that's what you want them to answer, is how about me? And then you just tell them of the programs that we have. But you don't want to get crazy like I did today. You don't want to bore them to death with 10 different ways that we can get them 100,000. What you want to do, you want to narrow it down. Our longest running program, most profitable program, has been the UBF, Unsecured Business Funding. That's the longest running, most profitable program. If you couple that with the merchant account, 1ST merchant, if you couple those two together, we can get them pretty close to $100,000 in under 21 days.
Question, Frank, from Taylor Clan. What are the required credit scores for the personal credit for W-2 earners and 1099ers?
680 or above is the credit score for them. And again, if they don't have the 680 or above, don't despair. We can fix that. You know, we have many different ways that we can fix that. So if they don't have a 680 or above, 680 or above, don't worry about it. We can fix it. If they're maxed out on their credit cards, don't worry about it. We can fix it. Anything else? Okay.
Well, I have one question.
All right. Shout out your name and where you're calling from. Shout out your name, where you're calling from, and ask your question. Okay. I hope I didn't offend you. Okay. Anyone else have any questions before? I was just getting ready to wrap up this half-hour call that went an hour and 7 minutes on this half-hour call. Lunch with the Leaders. It's a fantastic program, Lunch with the Leaders. We have more things. My announcement that I told you I was going to make an announcement at the end. The announcement is we're going to very shortly, September 1st, launch a whole different program in addition to what we're doing. The Lunch with the Leaders is going to be are restricted to just leaders, but we're going to have a training program, a daily training program at 4 o'clock Eastern time. That's 1 o'clock Pacific time, so that everybody can learn about each one of the programs that we have. Be a daily call. It'll be hopefully not as long as today's call. It shouldn't be over an hour. It should not be over an hour. And it will be open. It'll be specific for one specific topic at a time. And we'll be telling you how you can build 2 or 3 or 4 programs together to achieve $100,000 for practically anybody that you bring to the table. And with that, if there are no more questions in the chat box, Jeff?
No more.
All right, well, with that.
I just had a question.
Okay, shout it out. I can't hear you. Shout it out. You know what? You're going to have to type it in the chat box because I can't hear what you're saying. And it sounds.
He's got himself muted. I think he doesn't realize it.
Okay, well, unmute yourself. No, I don't think so because it sounded like really garbledy.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Okay. Is the first step you're saying is to build our own credit as far as the first step we should take?
That is absolutely the first step you should take. You should take care of yourself first. It's like when you're on the airplane and the masks drop down. You put your mask on yourself first, and then you put the mask on the kids.
Right.
You want to get yourself where you can speak confidently that, hey, this is not a joke. This stuff really worked. This happened for me.
Right. And also, you said the first step would be the 87 a month, or the 188, or the 2,500. That would be like the first steps in building your credit.
Why don't you put your name and email in the chat box, and that way Jeff will send you that information.
Well, I don't see the chat box option. Is it? I'm not on the laptop. I'm on the cell phone.
Oh.
So let me see. I don't know where the chat box is.
I'm 71 years old. I don't know. My smartphone is much smarter than me. I can't use it. So I can't tell
Frank,
you how to use it.
Frank, there is no link up there.
Yeah, I don't see any link for no.
In the chat box. Jeff has been reading the chat box.
In the chat box.
It's at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, scroll down.
You're on your smartphone, though.
Yeah, I'm on the smartphone. There's no.
I don't know where it is, but if you will look where you see the words participant, chat, share screen, record.
I see it, but
Click on the word chat.
Shout out to Regina Butler.
there's nothing in the chat box.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Jean's information, tell you what we're going to do. If there's no way for you to figure it out, I can't figure it out either. So what we're going to do is we're going to put up Jean's information, copy this down, send Jean an email right here.
Okay, I can send Jean. Should I send her a text or email, right, for us?
Text is fine too.
Oh, text. Okay, I'll send Jean a text.
There you go.
I'm doing scheduling for you, right, Frank?
You are doing scheduling.
Okay.
You the man. They gotta see you before they can talk to me.
Thank you for the information. It's been very valuable.
Okay. All right. With that, now I think I'm a little past my half hour.
Yep.
So I want to thank you, everyone, for coming and everyone for being so patient. I really didn't want to run through that last part of it, but forgive me for running. All right. Talk to you later. God bless.
Thanks, guys. Woo!
What? Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, we have to make noise at the end of every presentation. We got to make a lot of noise. Yeah, make noise.
Yay!
Okay. God bless. Bye now.
Later.